Discussion item, food service, students' perspectives.
I'm very pleased to introduce you and the Claremont community to Prescott Herzog. Prescott is a 8th grade student, and as you can see in the agenda, he is also the state of New Hampshire representative for Fuel Up to Place 60, as well as to discuss the middle school's involvement with this club, as well as his comments representing the student body of Claremont Middle School on food service. Prescott, when he heard about the board's interest in looking at a food service program, reached out to me. When he reached out to me, I immediately reached back to him and invited him to attend. So, Prescott, thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for representing the students at Claremont Middle School. Welcome.
Well, thank you for having me. To begin with, just to give you guys a clear on what Fuel to Play 60 is. Fuel to Play 60 is an in-school nutrition and physical activity program launched by the National Football League and the National Dairy Council. Fuel to Play 60 is designed to engage and empower youth to take action into their own health by implementing long-term positive changes for themselves in schools. So, the main part of getting involved in Fuel to Play 60 is the first is logging onto your dashboard, and that's the Fuel to Play 60 online website that they have for Fuel to Play 60. And you log on and you try and gain your points and do different challenges in order to boost yourself and try and increase your health and wellness with yourself. And then also you do plays, which are school-wide initiatives in order to increase healthiness inside of the school as well. That can be sponsored by grants, which are given around by the dairy councils throughout the entire nation. New England Dairy Council is ours, and so most of those plays can happen to the schools for completely no cost. Top students in the program attend the regional and the national summits, where they learn leadership skills and also really have a great time, because I was there at the last one at Purdue University, and that was an absolutely amazing experience. Now, my Fuel to Play 60 story is in 7th grade. I was elected a student body member for my old school in Minnesota, and one of the requirements is you have to take, if you're part of student council, you have to be in another club besides student council to give more student representation. And since Fuel to Play 60 was new to my old school too, I decided to join that. And in last March, I applied to go to the 2016 National Summit as a pay to attend, and I applied and I was accepted. So I went to the Fuel to Play 60 National Summit at Purdue University for 4 days. Then afterwards, there was a speech on the Wednesday night that we were there on why school meals matter, and I was part of the top 3 who made it on that. So I was invited to go to the USDA and speak in front of 50-plus members, as well as see then Secretary Vilsack's portrait unveiling. Then afterwards, I've spoke at PTA meetings as well as Kiwanis meetings, and also met with Miss Fleen at Maple Ave. I've also been invited and was invited this March 28th through 30th to attend and speak, the third speaker, at the 2017 Nurse to Flourish Summit in Chicago, where we kind of all focused on different subjects inside of schools. My focus was why school meals matter, because I did the speech on it, and also that how can we change the narrative on school meals nationally. So as part of the group, I will be the student voice inside of a national ad campaign in 2018. Then at the summit, the Chicago Summit, I became New Hampshire State Ambassador for the 2017 and 17 school year, which means I am in charge of all of New Hampshire's Fuel to Play 60. So anything that they need will report to me, and I will also be representing the Patriots and one of their 5 student body athletes and participants of the program. So I'll be at a lot of Patriots items and also representing Fuel to Play 60 and giving student voice throughout the state. And then we just found out that our school became a touchdown school, Claremont Middle School, by completing all the necessary steps. Me and 3 other people, as well as Lisa DeVolk and Paul Petrimo from the CMS, will go to Gillette Stadium and go to the regional summit. And then because I'm the New Hampshire State Ambassador, I will attend the 2017 National Summit in Minnesota this July. Now, at Field to Play 60 at CMS we've created an optional survey on school meals where 49% of the students took part, which is pretty good considering it was an optional survey. We've implemented the plays of highlighting healthy foods and also brain breaks. And we've also talked to School Food Administration for the action on 2017 and 2018 school year. Our main focus for next year is because of myself being the ambassador, I have to do one main local thing. So we are going through the local dairy council to get smoothie machines at every single school inside of the SAU school district next year. Now, with the student opinion on school meals during the survey, these were the top things that we came out of. And here's also a picture of what an average Friday lunch looks like at CMS. 71% of the students enjoyed the flavored milk at CMS. 80% of the students have never had a school breakfast. This is including 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And 70% of the students say that they aren't represented in their school meals program. Now, with CMS, the goals on food service, the Field to Play 60 program, put it on ourselves and kind of created 6 main action items that we'd like to see the school board as well as the entire food service focus on throughout the next couple of years. The first one is to recognize school meals as a need for all students. Now, I'm a student athlete myself, and I know how sports are really important to the entire district, but they only represent, a small bit of the community of students. And I also went to one of the math counts competitions at Dartmouth, and that was a great experience as well. But that only goes for a small amount of students. Now, school meals, that's for all the students inside of the SAU school district. So we really need to have the focus and the presentation and really care about the school meals program, because this is not just representing a few bit of people, but everyone. Second was to expand student voice inside of the program. As we heard from the committee, from the past meeting, we saw that 3 school board members volunteered in order to be part of the program. I'd like to see, as part of the committee, for us to have at least 2 times to 3 times more students that are on that committee of school board members than to be a part of it. Because students are the buyers of school meals, and if you don't have the buyers influence the decisions and purchases that's going on throughout the thing, you won't get that buy. And school meals are all about getting that buying and the continuing process of getting those foods. Now, the third is to enhance the quality of foods given to our students. I know that our school meal program is doing our best right now to try and do that, but if we could incorporate somehow more foods that are made instead of just warming it up, also trying to cook a little bit more at the state, because I know that there is a lot of state-of-the-art equipment that we have that hasn't really been used or taken to its full capabilities. To give more choice in planning and eating of the school meals, I'd like to see having maybe a monthly board with the school service administration in trying to plan out the meals as well. And I know that the elementaries of SAU 6 school districts has also been once a month getting one meal that has been taken from the students. So if we could have that maybe more on a district-wide program, just giving them more choice as well as per day the meal instead of just having, the sandwich and the main meal. That might be something that we could do as well. And then also to explain the school breakfast program to implement grab and go. This is something that Field to Play 60 can really take in charge of and take initiative for this. Maybe even, because I know at CMS that the way that they have the school meals program is that you kind of sit by yourself inside of the cafeteria and you eat your food, but it's right next to the doors and it's all drifting cold, and it's not really a positive feel when you have for the school meals. So if we could change that, so if you have such as grab and go, where you can take a bagel or something like that, or go outside, or maybe even go into your advisory and be able to have that, a little bit of a meal or something breakfasty that can fuel you the entire day instead of just having, chips or, Twinkies or something like that for your wind block. That might help even further. And the last one is to reduce food waste. My mom is a substitute teacher here in the SIU 6 school district, and at one of the schools that she was attending, it was a rainy day and they went inside and they had pears as part of their school meals for the day. And she had 100. She saw 100 students go by, and because of those pears, they were underripe. About 75% of those students threw those pears away. Now, if even as me, I can think of that as pretty much unacceptable, because if you think about how much money, how much energy that takes in order to make that food and have it progress, and to see it just thrown away into the trash and having the taxpayers buy that for the school meals, it's absolutely absurd. And we should really try and figure out a way to make sure that that food, instead of being overripe and served to the students where they automatically thrown it away, giving it out so that we can have it so it's good for the students as well, and maybe even a way for those students who really need that food to take it home and have that at home. Now, we have any questions?
I saw that you mentioned on your last slide that you had one of the objectives of to reduce food waste. I know when I was having school lunches, it was mandatory to take one fruit or one vegetable because it was the nutritious aspect of the meal. Do you know if that's a state law or if that is just a district?
I think that is a state law, but I've talking with the Dairy Council, we figured out ways in order to kind of, well, I don't want to say loophole, but like figure out ways to go throughout the school meals. For example, I know in Milford that they've had success with it. They've had a cart where if the student's not eating their nutritious part of the meal, or they haven't touched it or anything, they can put it on that cart, and then at the end of the day, while they're going around and going home, they bring those carts around, and the students who need those fruits or vegetables can take those. I know that there's Wind Block, there's kind of the snacking opportunity. Maybe that we could take those fruits and vegetables that weren't used and give those out during the Wind Block for teachers in order to give out as snacks. So it would still be inside of the school boundaries.
Incredible.
Corey?
Just to refer back to something that Patrick said and that Prescott said, the other issue that we discovered this year is that on delayed openings, breakfast is not served. And so we have prepared to remedy that by getting some extra granola bars and things of that nature so that they can be at the schools for those who don't have breakfast anywhere else. But as we move forward, think about what we can do for our kids, because I think the rationale is with the delayed opening, it's so close to when this lunch is served anyway, when the kids finally arrive. But if your last meal wasn't since lunch the day before, that's a long time. 2 hours makes a big difference at that point. Absolutely. And so having foods available for them. And the other idea is we're in the process of working with Rethink Health through Dartmouth College and the soup kitchen in town to create food shelves in all of the schools that have snacks and things of that nature available for kids. So when we're talking about the lunch foods that maybe kids don't want to eat at lunch could be recycled, for lack of a better term, and help to sustain and supply the food shelf that's available for all kids, not just those who need it, but all kids who might be hungry at any point during the day or before they leave. It's a way to better maximize and utilize all of the resources we have to ensure that the kids, at least when they're with us, have what they need. We can't dictate what happens when they go home, but at least when they're with us, we can make sure that their bellies are full and that they are taken care of. So I think it's a great idea to have a cart.
Great job.
Hey, thank you so much. It was a great presentation. We'll be in touch again. I'd love to continue to hear your input as we move forward. Thank you.
Absolutely, thank you.